Black Asian Minority Ethnic BAME Students Officer. The BAME Students Officers represent the views of students at York who self-define as BAME, which is including but not limited to students of African, Asian, Arab and Latin American heritages. They campaign within the union, university and in wider society, promoting equality for BAME students and celebrating the diversity of culture within the student body at York. They also lead the BAME Students Network and host regular social and campaigning events.
And hello, I'm Maya Dowdle and I'm here with Neo, who is standing for the role of BAME officer. So let's just start straight away with a question about yourself. So can you give me specific examples of work or action you've taken in the form of like committee positions, like volunteering, kind of anything that demonstrates your commitment to the role, like even outside of university?
Oh, most definitely. So I'm the current vice president of York Politics Society, and actually by coincidence we had an event just now before this. I held a talk on the German politics of remembrance, and yes, I'm also editor-in-chief of York Global Affairs, a wonderful media society here on campus focusing on international news. And I also play ultimate frisbee on the uni team, and I'm I love swing dance, so check out the Swing Dance Society here on campus, and obviously jazz, so Vanbrugh Jazz, come along Monday evenings 8:30, and I'm a member of the house band.
Vanbrugh Jazz. But no, that's wonderful. It's very well-rounded. My next question is more specifically about kind of the concept of BAME. So there's no one BAME student, there's no one BAME individual. So how do you think you can represent and sort of unite a diverse group of people who are all going to have different like needs and wants within that group?
That's an absolutely fantastic question, because obviously, as you said, we've got a wide range of experiences, of BAME experiences exclusively. So for me, for example, I'm 3/4 German, 1/4 Nigerian, grew up bilingual, and my mother was born in Singapore. So I've also sort of got a connection to Asia, where my mother loves Singapore. We've been there quite a few times. And I think that international context will also give me the chance to connect to the BAME students. And I think it's simply essential to acknowledge the fact that there's not one BAME perspective, as you said, that there's not one unitary BAME student out there for which I'm catering to. It's all of them. It's every single one of you BAME students out there. I'm there for you, for your individual needs and experiences.
That's a good answer. So now to go back straight to your manifesto. So you mentioned specifically creating visibility and demarginalising those who've been silenced. And you mentioned on kind of promoting and platforming kind of talents in the BAME community. But my question would be, do you think there should also be a focus on inclusivity? So being able to get people into those areas, like the arts, for example, to then platform them in the first place?
I think it is both. Get people into the arts that haven't had the chance to do so. I think we've got wonderful programs here on campus, for example, the Lending Library of Vanbrugh Rocks, where you can get involved with music, where you can actively start learning, for example, music, just taking that as an example from personal experiences. But I think it's also essential to give people that already have these talents the stage to perform them. We had that with the BAME showcase last Sunday. I was very honoured to play there, and that gave so many of the people on stage were so happy after the event. Everyone was talking and chatting and saying this was a fantastic opportunity. It was one of them said it was basically a breeze of fresh air coming into York, and I think that's exactly what we need, that breeze of fresh air coming into York, enabling people to go on stage and show off their grand talents.
No, I mean, it's good that you linked into the showcase, because I was going to bring it up as well. But in the last sort of 40 seconds, sort of being aware of those things, and like kind of the Regal Beings kind of fashion show we had last year, being aware of all these events that we're now having, kind of you mentioned wanting to create new spaces, showcase talent. So kind of where would you go with that in the light of all these events we're starting to push towards? What would be your kind of ideal way forward? More events like that, or something slightly different?
I think, first of all, more events like that. So make the BAME showcase at least a yearly thing, make the Regal fashion show at least a yearly thing, and then create new spaces, not only maybe for music and the arts, for fashion, but also for visual arts, maybe even for cooking, for example. I think food is a very, very good means of connecting people.
Right, thank you, Neil. I'm going to have to now pass to Studio Red for our next interview, but it's lovely to hear from you. And
Lovely, thank you very much.